Hello, and welcome to the Long Island Local Podcast, brought to you by Audio Workstations here in Bohemia, New York. Let's jump right into the conversation with a Long Island local business owner. Welcome, everyone, to the Long Island Local Podcast. We are here today with Donna of Antmar Enterprises. Donna, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So we are here to discuss Antmar Enterprises. I want to get to the name and where that name comes from because I know there's a story behind that. But first, I just want to introduce, generally speaking, what you offer to people. And is it fair to describe it as payment services? Is that a good general description?
Yes, it is. It's a payment services company. It's my company. It was founded in 2012. Okay. And the reason for the name, it stemmed from my children, Anthony and Marissa. That's where Antmar Enterprises comes from.
Got it. Anthony plus Marissa equals Antmar.
Yes, correct.
Okay, perfect. And so if I'm a local company and I'm trying to accept, I guess, every form of payment that I could possibly accept because I want everyone to be able to pay me, there's a lot of options out there today. And so I guess, let's say I'm overwhelmed by this. Can you help explain to people sort of what they're dealing with out there in the world of payment options?
Okay, well, I offer no contract, no early termination, free equipment, free terminals, free equipment. Obviously, that's free equipment. I'm sorry.
So the terminals are basically the main piece of equipment that we need to just accept credit cards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Also, the gateways. We have there's gateway systems. It depends on what the merchant is looking for, what the business is looking for. Every business is different.
Yeah.
So what I do is I actually go to the person, to the business owner, and I do a little interview with that merchant, and I evaluate that person. I sit down with him. I see what that business needs. Every business is different. A pizzeria would be different from a gas station or a car wash, and they may need a card reader. They may need Wi-Fi, a wireless terminal. So I evaluate that. I see what their needs are. And the equipment is free, and I go back and I get them that kind of equipment. So there are no contracts, like I said, no early termination, and
now, do you have to buy that equipment ahead of time and just have a bunch of it ready for everyone, or are you kind of, obtaining that equipment on an as-needed basis for people?
Usually, it's as needed because I don't know what that business would need.
And so, what's the variety of equipment? Like, I know that there's sort of like older credit card machines that maybe are they tied into phone lines, or I haven't actually had one here.
No, we have all new equipment. All on Ethernet based or Wi-Fi or wireless.
Okay, and then there's ones that you can now just hook up to your phone, right? You can connect.
Yes, those are the card readers.
Okay, and so what are the pros and cons of those two? Because I've only been using the phone-based ones. Like I think we have Square, and I'm either swiping it or I'm sometimes manually entering a card number. And I feel like there's some sort of penalty for doing that even. I'm not even sure. Okay, so if I enter a card number manually, is there a higher fee than if I'm swiping it? Okay.
Yes, by actually manually typing in a card, there are higher fees.
What is the reason for that? Do you know?
Well, because
they're more suspicious that you might not really have access to the card?
It's just a really high risk because the card is not present.
I see.
That's what the risk would be.
Okay. So, yeah, there's that. And then there's, so if I'm doing it on my phone, what would be some of the pros and cons of me switching over to a more official dedicated card reader?
Well, if you do it on your phone, we actually have the card reader where you could actually put that little swipe on your phone, and you could actually put the swipe thing on your phone and do it that way. So it would be the same thing.
Okay.
But that also allows you to actually key in the card. So it's the same thing that way. But we also have the terminals where you could also
And the main benefit there is you just don't need a phone,
Right,
basically. No
right,
phone needs
exactly,
to be present.
exactly.
Okay, so it just stays
Yeah,
there and does its
yeah,
job all the time, regardless of if you
yeah,
just broke your phone on the
right.
street.
The only thing is that some people do like that because they don't have to physically have a large terminal. The thing with that is some people do like the receipt paper to offer them a receipt, where the other things you could email
I see.
a
So
receipt. Yeah,
the terminals will actually print you
right,
paper
right,
and give them a physical receipt,
right,
whereas I have to email it if I'm doing it on the
right.
phone. Okay,
Email it or text it or something like
that
that.
makes sense. So it is more official seeming to give a paper receipt.
Right. Some people are old school. They want a paper receipt.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I've been known to snap receipts on my phone and try and enter
Right.
it into my QuickBooks so that I don't get yelled at by an accountant.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've also fished through emails looking for receipts for things and
Yeah.
found receipts for the same amount as a different purchase and been very confused, when you get like that weird, oh, this was $43.12, but so was this.
Right.
I don't know how to
Exactly.
process this now. Okay, so you've got equipment that they don't have to be paying for, so you're providing that equipment. And so talk to me a little bit about the fees and how people can become more aware of the fees that they're paying and perhaps even lower those fees.
Okay. What I do is I usually ask for a statement, the last statement, or even two statements. And what I do is a side by side analysis for them. I do a comparison. So I would compare, like if they were doing business with me and a savings of what I could save them.
Okay.
If they do not want to do that, we also offer a cash discount program where we could pass that fee on to the customer and they would pay nothing, absolutely nothing at the end of the month. So they would have absolutely zero.
And that's through sort of encouraging cash payments or?
So any fee that is incurred on the card when it's swiped, so there would be like a 4%, anywhere between a 3 and 4% fee. So let's say you're a pizza shop. So the whole cost is $10. So an extra 4% would be charged to that. So that 4% would be charged to that customer. So at the end of the month,
I see.
yeah, that the merchant absolutely pays nothing.
Got it. So by accounting for the fees and establishing the dual pricing, you can sort of build in the credit card fees so that you're not taking the actual hit on it.
Right.
All right. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
to
this
me.
program was actually established for small business owners.
Yeah.
So because of the high fees and everything.
Yeah.
And it actually helps them.
Okay. What is the range of fees that people are paying low to high?
Oh, it depends. Some people are paying anywhere, depending on how much they process, the volume that they process, they could pay anywhere between $100 to thousands of dollars a month, and they're not even aware of the amount of fees that they're paying.
And that's in percentages ranging from what's like the lowest percentage that you could hope to possibly be paying on a
like some people, because of American Express is like one of the highest cards that they could be hit with.
Right.
Their percentage is at least 3 to 5% on that card alone. So if you have an American Express card and if you go into a business, like even with an American Express Platinum card, that percentage on that card could be at least 3.5% to 4% on that card.
Okay, and that's the high range.
Yeah.
And what would be the low range of like companies that are not charging nearly as much as American Express?
Well, you have Visa cards that are pretty high as well. So yeah, so they're getting hit pretty hard with those. So they're actually paying everyone's rewards on those cards.
Gotcha. So that's how they're funding their rewards programs is essentially through the businesses. Okay, so then the businesses are trying to avoid that, and then so it ends up being the customer paying for their own rewards in the end.
Right.
Well,
So actually, it's a win-win because if you're going into a business and you're passing the fee on to the customer.
Yeah.
So if you're actually paying the rewards, it's actually a win-win for the customer because you're paying extra on the rewards. So it's
yeah. At least they get something back.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's not coming from the credit card company.
Right.
It's really just coming from them.
Right.
That's your rewards are probably just, you could probably just put money in a cookie jar and it would be the same thing and pay cash everywhere. Okay. Well, that's one lesson for everyone. But in the meantime, how do we get those fees lower and how are you able to help?
Yeah, so
Because
let's say people didn't want the dual pricing cash discount. They just want traditional pricing.
okay,
Some people are old
the
school.
simplicity of it all,
Right.
right?
There are people out there, no, I do not want to pass the fee on to the customer. I may lose them. You do get people
Right.
that do not want to do that. So I do offer a comparison, and I show them what they are paying that shouldn't be paying. Like, there are credit card companies out there that will just nickel and dime them for every little thing that really they shouldn't be paying. So I show them what fees they are paying that they shouldn't be, and I eliminate that. And I show them what they could be saving each month.
So, if do you end up calling the credit card companies and trying to basically negotiate away some of the extra fees and stuff?
Oh no, not their old credit card companies.
Okay.
It would be the company for me that
Right.
they could be going to.
Gotcha. So you're
So it
just
would be a way letting them know
mm-hmm.
what the company that they're with is doing with them, and like making them aware of all the months or years that they've been with them, the money that they've been paying.
Right. And so I feel like I need a bit of an education on the relationship between the credit card companies themselves and then the payment processing.
Right.
What is that relationship like, and where does one end and the other begin in terms of like who's just loaning money in the form of a credit card and who's responsible for handling transactions and worrying about the details?
Well, that's where someone like me would come in. Not everyone is going to tell you that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I've never really thought like too much about it. I know there's fees associated with credit cards, and I know
Right.
there's companies that I can use to process credit cards, like the Square app on my phone.
Right.
But it's like,
Right.
where does Square end and the credit card companies begin, and what are they, when they talk to each other?
Right.
Yeah, that has to happen all the time, and I guess
Right,
that's
like a company like Square.
Yeah.
Square is very, very high. They're almost at 3%, or
Okay.
they are at 3%,
mm-hmm.
and then they tack in another 10 cents transaction for each transaction that they charge.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty high. So at the end of the month, you may not realize it, but you are paying a lot. My brother, I just took him off of Square
Okay.
because he thought he wasn't paying a lot, but then in the long run, he was.
Okay. And what type of savings can people expect in terms of reducing that percentage down with you? How low? And you don't have to. I'm sure every project
No,
is a different
every
quote. But
business is different, but I do save everyone money.
okay, so
I
you have
do.
to look at the details of each business to figure out exactly how you're going to create that savings. But you're confident that you'll be able to do it
Oh
regardless.
yeah, I am.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
just
awesome.
just the savings alone. Even if they want traditional, I could save them money. Even if they don't want traditional, they want to go to cash discount or dual pricing. That's a big hit in itself.
Okay, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you figure out that this is something that you wanted to focus on? Like when did it become something that you became an expert on and aware of?
Well, I worked on Wall Street for many, many years. In 2009, I was let go from a job that I loved so much on the equity trading floor.
Okay, so that's the
Yeah,
first
Yeah.
aspect of your career was
yeah,
that?
yeah. And then I was hired from a credit card company, and I was like, I really don't want to do this. But then it became something that I really loved.
I see. Okay, so it was always in the world of finance for you,
Yeah.
but then it kind of shifted over to the world of credit cards, and
Yeah.
you started wondering, how can maybe people save money
Yeah,
on some of these ridiculous fees and
yeah. I
and-
guess. Yeah, it rolled in there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me follow that timeline again. So it was 2009, and then
But I worked for a company then, but then 2012, I believe, then that's when everything started working out, where I got my own company.
so we have how long were you with the credit card company? That was just a few years in between,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And did you kind of observe some things there that?
Yeah, there was some ups and downs, trying to learn the system, trying to, get acclimated on how things work.
Right. But all that information that you learned while there, that probably was instrumental in helping you create Antmar Enterprises because now you have sort of this behind the scenes
Right.
knowledge of how the actual credit card company thinks about everything
Right.
and how they, view their business.
Yeah.
And so I imagine that helps greatly in trying to help, merchants and understand, what was going on with the credit card companies
Right.
and
And
how
it was
they can do
helping me
better.
understand because I was learning also.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So was it like, did it feel brand new when you went to the credit card company?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was like completely different from the previous job.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Everything was brand new. Yeah.
But you really integrated it well and it turned it into your own
Yeah.
entrepreneurial spirit thing, which I admire very much.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So, so now it's 2012 when Antmar is created. And who were some of your very first customers that you were able to help?
One of my very first customers, I have to say, were car washes.
Okay.
I helped a car wash.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people
Bunch.
swiping
Car
credit
wash.
cards.
Car wash was one of my very first car lubes, repair shops, restaurants, pizzerias.
Yeah, I imagine that the majority of the purchases are happening with credit card swipes because they have that little machine when you're rolling in that you could just stick a credit card right in there and pay for your wash, right? So I imagine the amount of people paying cash is very low, and so the amount of fees they were paying was probably very high.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so that seems like a really good
Yeah.
ground to prove out
Right.
what you're doing and really make a big impact on their bottom line.
Yeah, so I have to say that was like one of my very, very first.
Yeah. And so, did it become multiple car washes, or was
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that
And
makes
multiple
sense.
car lubes
Yeah.
for a long, long time.
Okay. And so that was sort of the first area of industry
Yep.
where you were able to make a big impact.
Yep.
And so, as it has grown, what types of other businesses are you now
Just
working
pretty
with?
much everything. I have a lot of pizzerias now, restaurants.
Okay, yeah, that's another one where people aren't carrying
repair
as
shops.
much cash.
Yeah.
And it's
No one carries cash
Yeah,
anymore.
and everyone used to pay cash for pizza. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I used to pay cash for pizza when I was, when I was in high school. If I had a $20 bill in my pocket, that meant I could have pizza and more.
Yeah.
But yeah, nowadays
It's amazing. No one carries cash anymore.
Yeah, very little.
Yeah.
And so that's got to really be an impact on all those slices
Yeah.
and pies that are sold with cards. That credit card fee stuff is going to add up.
Yeah.
So that makes perfect sense. Yeah, it's like any business where people are just likely to swipe.
Yeah.
You can come in there and really
A lot
make
of
a big
transactions,
impact.
bagel shops, a lot of bagel shops too. I have a
Oh,
few
yeah.
bagel shops.
That was the next thing on my mind. Yep, and I think about that too.
Very low ticket, but a lot of transactions of bagel
correct.
shops.
If I'm only getting one
you'd be
bagel
surprised.
sandwich and I don't have
Credit cards all the time on that.
Yeah, that makes sense. We had very good bagels from a local bagel shop today that maybe you should walk into and give your business card to
Yeah.
after ordering a bagel.
Yeah. It's a delicious bagel I just had.
Yeah.
So good.
Exactly, they're very good, and
Yeah.
I often do not have cash when I walk in there, and they accept it, but I wonder how hard they're getting hit with those fees. So,
Probably, yeah.
all right, well, you might have to get another bagel on your way out of here and drop off a business card. That makes sense, and of course, like pizza shops and bagel shops are two big New York / Long Island
low
staples.
tickets. They're a low ticket, but yet a lot of transactions. People never have cash. It's amazing.
Yeah, that seems like areas where you can make a big impact on local business because, we're basically built on pizza shops and bagel shops here.
Right.
I joke with people from both in-state and out-of-state that the reason the cost of living is so high here is because there's a secret bagel and pizza tax that no one is telling you about, and it's just built into the cost of living that you pay a lot to live in the area, but you get better bagels and better pizza, and it's unspoken. Well, it's spoken, but we don't necessarily tie it to the cost of living. But that's how I explain the high cost of living here is the high cost of excellent bread products. Anyway, that's just my personal theory.
Right.
But you stand a chance to help out a large percentage of local Long Island businesses with pizza shops and bagel shops alone, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, great. So what's the new year looking like for you in terms of plans? Are there any new trends in the payment industry that you're following that are interesting?
I just want to help small businesses. I'm there to. I offer. Oh, another thing I do offer, and a lot of processing companies do not offer, is PCI compliance. I don't know if you know what that is.
No, please
but
explain.
I'm
Actually,
gonna
I
explain.
love acronyms.
Okay.
PCI. Tell me what it is.
PCI is something that each merchant needs to do at the end of the year.
Okay.
It's they need to do this to make it's PCI compliant. I forgot what it stands for. It's something that they have to do on their computer to make their credit card terminal compliant with every card that comes through their terminal,
Okay.
so that there's no fraud.
It's like a regulation
A
to prevent fraud.
regulation certificate, yes.
All right. So,
So I actually take care of that for each one of my customers.
okay.
Not everyone will do that. So I do that. There's like a half hour or an hour. Like if you have to do that. I don't know if you do that, but you have to do that.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've taken the time to do that, to make sure that each credit card that you take is not fraud. And there's a certificate. You get a certification and all that once a year.
Okay.
So if you don't do that, you're going to get hit with anywhere between $30 to $50 or more a month for not being compliant.
Okay.
Then you'll get hit with an annual fee.
And who's fining us in that scenario?
The credit card company.
Oh, the companies themselves, not
Yeah.
each individual one. Or,
No, the credit card processing company that you're doing the processing with.
Got you. Got you.
So if you're not checking your statement, you don't know that you're getting hit with that. Are you
Gotcha.
checking your statement?
I will be shortly after this podcast. I will be reading it over very carefully.
Because you could be you could be getting hit with that every month.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All
So
right.
I actually provide that for you.
Okay. Excellent.
So I will take care of that for my merchants.
All right. PCI compliance, everyone. If you don't know, now you know. And Donna can help.
Yeah.
All right. That's important. So,
It's very important
all right. Make sure to be
because
PCI
that's
compliant.
an extra fee that you don't need to pay every month.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's good information. I'm learning a lot of things about the credit and payment industries today, which is usually my goal here on the podcast, is to learn a lot, as much as I can, about industries that I don't know, because I generally don't leave recording studios. I just, stay here behind microphones. And so this podcast is my opportunity to learn interesting things, and possibly even things that affect, our business here, like fees that I might not know about. All right, excellent. So any local business can basically benefit by reducing their credit card fees that they're paying. And so that makes sense that, you wanting to help small businesses, this is an area where they definitely need help, right? And so that makes perfect sense to me. So I understand what your goals are in business. What is something that you do for unwinding from business? What's some of your favorite things to do, either as a hobby or to take time away from the business?
Oh, that's easy.
All right, do tell.
I have 4 dogs.
Okay. Yeah, that'll keep you occupied.
Yes.
My mom also has 4 dogs.
Oh, really?
And I got her a dog mom hat.
Oh, I have a dog mom hat.
Oh my God. Okay. So I'll introduce you guys.
Yeah.
What type of dogs do you have?
I have 2 Weimaraners.
Okay.
Do you know what they are?
I do, yeah.
And I have 2 Vizslas.
Okay. I don't
Yeah.
know what those are. Maybe if I saw
They look
them.
like Weimaraners, but they're red.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, they're Hungarian hunting dogs, where
Ah.
the Weimaraners are German.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they're probably related.
Yeah, they are. I think in some way they are.
Okay. My family has Australian Shepherds.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
4?
4 of them, yeah.
4 of them?
Yeah, at
Wow.
one point there were 5 up until recently, but yes.
Well, I
have
kind of
4.
have 5 right now because we're watching my mother-in-law's little Westie.
Okay.
Well, it's little right now, so thank God it's a smaller one.
Did they all get along?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I'm a dog person.
Yep. My mom had 2, and then they were getting, there was a third, but the third was so much younger and had so much more energy. She was like, well, I have to get a fourth to, so the 2 young ones can play together and they can stop bugging the old dogs. The old dogs want to relax, and the young dog is like, let's play.
Yeah,
She's
that's
like,
what they do.
Got to get you a young puppy to play with
Right.
so the old dogs can sleep.
So that's what she did.
That's what she did.
That's so funny.
But yeah, okay. So yeah, dogs will keep you busy.
Yes.
That is the truth. And they are pack animals, so it is nice to have them in a group.
Yes.
But it is definitely a multiplication on the amount of time and work that it takes to take care of them. So yeah, that was an easy answer for you.
Yes, but I do love them to death.
You ever try and walk them all at once somewhere
No.
public? That's a lot. Yeah.
No, I just do 2 and 2.
Two and two. Yeah, you need someone else to help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's doable. You get 2 dogs per person.
Yeah.
And then you can go out and explore the world a little bit.
Right.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All right, I'm a big dog fan.
Yeah.
Dogs and helping businesses save money with their credit card fees. These are 2 admirable things that I respect. So, okay, did we forget anything crucial that you want people to know about Antmar Enterprises and how they can work with you?
No, I just love to help people. I'm here to help, here to save money for people, and
Excellent. People like saving money, so I don't imagine it's too hard of a sell. So I'm glad to have you here and express to everyone that Donna can help with your credit card fees, and especially if you're here local on Long Island, give Donna a call. There'll be some information at the end of the podcast, of course, like we always do with her information. And Donna, I want to thank you for coming by and telling us all about what you're doing. I'm going to be going into my Square statements and probably calling you right afterwards.
okay,
after
great.
this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, and we're always happy to have you and anyone who is a local entrepreneur here to learn about what they do here at the Long Island Local Podcast. So thank you once again, and thank you everyone for listening, and we will wave goodbye to them. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Hi, my name is Donna Liggio. I'm with Antmar Enterprises. I offer payment solutions for all businesses. I can be reached at Donna@antmarenterprises.com. That's spelled ANTMAR Enterprises.com. 917-359-9379. Again, my name is Donna Liggio at AntmarEnterprises.com.